Assalamu alaikum everyone. So welcome to our next video of Chemistry with Sarab Tasambe. In this video, we're going to go and talk about changes of state. The question which was in the previous video was that can we convert a solid into a liquid into a gas back into a liquid back into a solid? So the answer to that is yes. Let's see. If I want to convert a solid into a liquid, I'll have to increase the temperature of the solid. The solid will be converted into a liquid, and that process is called melting. A liquid can be converted into a gas. Again, I have to increase the temperature of the liquid to the point where the boiling point of the liquid has been reached, and I can convert the liquid into a gas through a process which is called boiling or evaporation. But boiling and evaporation comes under the umbrella term of vaporization. So we'll look at vaporization. A gas can be converted back into a liquid. So let's see. A gas can be converted back into a liquid via a process known as condensation. And a liquid can be converted back into a solid via a process called freezing. Freezing. There's a very interesting thing which I want to cover in this video, and that is that a solid can be converted directly into a gas. And that process is called sublimation, because there have been a lot of substances that you can heat up and directly convert from a solid to a gas. That process is called sublimation. A few of the examples of the substances that can sublime, I'm going to list down here. So sublimation, a few of the examples can be dry ice, which is solid carbon dioxide. It can be naphthalene balls, mothballs, which you place inside your cupboards to prevent moths and insects to harm your clothes. Then you can have ammonium chloride, NH4Cl. Ammonium chloride is a solid, but when you heat it, it sublimes. And the most important one is iodine, I2. Iodine is a solid. When you heat it, it sublimes. Another example is AlCl3, aluminum trichloride. It's a solid. When you heat it, it also sublimes. So these are a few of the examples of substances that sublime on heating, which means that change their state directly from solid to gas. But then, of course, if solids can be converted directly into gases, then gases can be converted directly to solids via a process called deposition. So gases can be converted back to solids via a process called deposition. Now we looked at the changes of state, and let's take a small example of how ice is a solid. You can see that the particles are very closely packed over here in a regular arrangement, and they are only vibrating to and fro about their fixed positions because of the strong electrostatic attractions between these particles. When ice melts, it turns into water liquid. You can see the particles of liquid over here, that they're not as close as they are in solids, but these particles can move about and slide over each other with weaker electrostatic attractions as compared to solids. And then when you vaporize water, it turns into steam. You see the particles have absolutely random motion. They are very far apart from each other with very weak electrostatic attractions or intermolecular forces between these particles or molecules. Now, another question arises that how can we define melting point and how can we define boiling point, and what are the differences of boiling and evaporation with respect to kinetic particle theory. That part of the syllabus we're going to cover in the next video. Until then, stay tuned. Take care, everyone.